Hi guys, welcome to another Learn Electronics Repair video. I have quite a few laptops here at the moment. This is one, came in today, emergency repair, which means it costs a little bit more money most likely, and shouldn't be too difficult to repair. According to the owner, it has a problem with the power socket. So this is where you plug your power lead in, and he says it's loose. And let's see. Yeah, the whole thing's waggling around, so that is definitely loose. So he says the laptop works, but you waggle the thing and it goes off, which makes me think the battery isn't too clever on it. This looks like it's bent on the camera, but it's not. It's where like the silver's worn off. Somebody's obviously got the fingers here a lot for some reason. Now the guy uses this in his business, so he needs it fixing quickly. So the first thing I'll do with this is let's just test to make sure the power socket is actually working before I touch it, and then if that is actually working, let's open it up and let's see how easy it's going to be to fix this one. Of course, I've just made the first fatal mistake. I said let's see how easy it is going to be to fix this one, when I should have said let's see how difficult it's going to be, because that's usually the case. Yeah, if I think something's going to be easy, I suddenly find it's not going to be easy. So the first thing I want to try and do is just find a socket that actually fits this laptop to test it. I have a universal charger here, but from what I can see, it's not as universal as you might think. Yeah, it doesn't fit. And he didn't bring a charger with it. Let me see if I can actually find anything that does fit in here. Oh, I was lucky. I found one that does fit it. That's the first lesson then. Don't accept this sort of repair job without a power supply that will fit it, because you can't prove whether or not it's working. Yeah, so let's now try and power this up and let's see if it does come on. Well, the first thing we can confirm is it does actually work. Let's see what happens if I waggle this. Did it go off? No, it's between windows. Yeah. So it is in fact loading Windows up. We'll just let it load. There we go. Then let's have a look to see what it does if we just waggle this. Well, it doesn't seem to have any effect. Maybe it's actually running on battery. I'm just looking at the screen now to see if I can actually see any indication that it's losing its power, and it seems to be actually functioning. Is it running on battery as well? Only one way to prove it, yeah? Oh, no, it wasn't running on battery, so I just crashed the Windows, but never mind. So it actually seems to work with this adapter on. I mean, it's possible he has a problem with his power adapter, but let's have a look at this socket anyway, just to be sure. We can see this is a Medion Laptop model E6422, and now we'll have to do my least, or rather second least favourite part of laptop repair, which is to get the thing open. My least favourite being putting it all back together again after you've finished. So I think we'll just start by removing lots of screws with a proper size screwdriver, and let's see what we've got inside it. I mean, we can see, by the way, while I'm doing this, the reason it's not running on batteries, by the way, is because the battery's gone, yeah? Battery's gone. That's what one of the problems is. Let's take this thing out. So I'll tell him the battery's gone when he comes back. And I ask him for the power supply probably, because I don't think there's anything actually wrong with this, but let's see. Could be that there's a problem with the socket, and it is effectively connecting his charger is just a little bit worn compared with mine, so I'm actually still getting a good connection. That might be the case. You might have a charger that doesn't fit properly. Maybe the charger's gone as well as the battery's gone, yeah. Maybe the charger's gone as well, so he's using another one. I don't know. You have to wonder that. You have to wonder, guys. Some of this stuff comes into a workshop if you're doing this sort of work, yeah. So we have lots and lots of screws, and some of them have funny little symbols against them, which suggests to me that I probably have to take the keyboard out next after I've removed this lot. But we can see. We can see. Weather's good, by the way, very warm and sunny. We have a heat wave coming, apparently, otherwise known as a Kalima here, but it doesn't look more than cloudy. It doesn't look hazy over the hills like there's a dust storm coming. But as from today until next Thursday, apparently we have temperatures around 40 centigrade, which is a heat wave here. Normally all through the summer it's 32. What we don't get here in the summer, for that matter, really in the winter either, is cloudy days or rainy days. You know, it's just like, if it's summer, yeah, and it's summer every day. From like end of March till end of October, really. But November can be quite warm. December, in fact, actually, till Christmas, New Year can be like well into the mid-20s, and then it kind of like cools down a bit for January and February, where it's maybe 22, and then after that it warms up again. That's the usual pattern. So while we've been, while I've been whittering on about the weather, I've got a lot of screws out of this. How do we get it apart? This feels like maybe this will come off with a spudger. Yeah, that felt. This might even come off without a spudger, which probably means it's been opened before. It's very tight there. Is there something down here? All the screws are out here. There's no screws, but something's a bit tight here. Let's have a go. Maybe I will have to actually get a spudger. I'm just effectively using my fingers. Yeah, clicking it as it's coming off. Where is that spudger? Okay, most of my spudgers are broken, by the way. I have one or two left that are not broken, but I'm obviously going to have to buy some more of these things. Let's see if that will actually get us into here. So I'm hearing various things going click, which is a good sign. That's off. And this side. Something very tight down this side. I can't see what it is. I would say there's probably some more screws under this panel that's stopping it from coming off at the moment. So let's get into here. I mean, another technique would be to go onto YouTube and try and find a tear down video, but let's see if this helps us first. If not, we can always go down that route. So this is coming off. Yeah, it's clipping off. Looks like it comes out this way. Is that a little catch there, or something that holds it in place? No, it just came off. It just wanted a little bit of persuasion. Nothing's broke. It's come off. Now can we figure out how to get the keyboard off here? I suspect I'll have to disconnect a few of these cables first. This one's definitely going into the top. This one, yeah, it's one of the lift up ones. Just lift up. And that one's out. Anything else? Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see now why it wouldn't come apart. So there's a few more screws. There's one here in particular. It's possible there's one under the hard drive or more. No, that seems okay. So there's the one there. Do we see any more? Yeah. There's one here that may well go through to the other side. Okay. Let's see if that's now going to come open for us. Just looking it down the gap to see if I can see anything else that's actually holding it. Seems like there's something down here that's holding it in place. Could be the fan screwed into it. It's a little unusual if it is, but it could be. So we can always just take that one out and this one out. Oh, I see the other screw out. This is what's holding it. So I'd missed one screw here. That's to take the cover off. But no harm done, nothing damaged. It should all come out now with a bit of luck quite easily. Yeah, there we go. So let's see how the ribbon cable is attaching on this. Yeah, it's just click, click, click. There's some cables down in here which I just need to figure out how to get to. Yeah, okay. One of them is here. So that one is out. Let's just move it out of the connector. That's free, so that can go. Possibly one of them is here as well, so that one can go. Now is it going to open up? It looks like that's about it. Let's have a look. Yeah, something holding that on still. Yeah, there's a little cable. This one, yeah, this one's seems to be holding it in place. A little speaker cable, I think. Yeah, see that one out the way. Right, now what do we have? Okay, open it up again. Anything else? No, guys, that's it. So we can now lift the keyboard off. So everything came off cleanly. So that's kind of how to do it without looking it up. Just work your way into it. Some pressure, but not too much pressure, and then have a feel to sense which points are still being held down, and then we can go from there. So we now have the power socket. If there's a better technique of getting into laptops other than that one, let me know. Let me know. And if you say, well, look for a teardown on YouTube, remember that whoever posted the teardown, they must have worked out how to do it first. So surely if they can work out how to do it, then you can work out how to do it. That seems to be the case to me. Alright, so we have the power cable off. Let's see if this is actually faulty. Because I'm thinking now maybe the whole thing was just moving. It's not mounted on the motherboard. It fits into a little place here. And I may well have to ask him to bring the power supply in. I mean, it did seem stable enough when it was on. So we can connect my power supply. Yeah, and that's solid. So we don't have a problem as the customer described with the power socket. What we actually have is a problem with this power supply. So I'll have to go and ask the guy who brought it in, Andy, can I have the power pack please? I've asked the owner for their power supply, which I now have here, and I think I'm getting to the bottom of this problem. So this is my universal power supply, which is connected to the laptop on this cable. And if I now press the on button, it's powering on. You can see the white light on here. Yeah, I don't have a hard drive attached at the moment, but the fan's spinning, it's powering on. So that's with my power supply. Now I'll attach their power supply. So I'll disconnect this one. Yeah, I want that bit. Yeah, I want that bit. Put my power supply on one side. Okay, so this is the customer's power supply. The light's on, it's attached. We'll try and start the laptop. It flashed once and went out, so there's obviously, oh, now it is on, now it's off. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. Not starting up. So the problems with their power supply, it's not a problem with the laptop at all. I'll just reset it. No, it's not wanting to start. Let's just take it out and put it back in. This can only go one way around. There's like a key in there. So this only can go in one direction. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. We'll push it back on again. Let's see. No, there's nothing there. Let's have a look to see if we have any voltage on the power supply. I'll just get the test meter on volts range where we can see it. Let's have a look. No, it reads 19 volts actually. It's reading 19 volts. Put it back on the laptop. Didn't start up. Let's have a look at the voltage where the cable comes onto the motherboard. So we have this is ground, and this should be 19 volts, and we don't have any. We don't have anything there. So there's the problem. We have 19 volts here. Oh, you can see. Right, look. It's like it's intermittent. I'll just get a good connection again. Can you see that? Just, yeah. I'd say they've got a problem with the power lead. In all honesty. Yeah. Okay. Let's take this bit off. Let's have a look in here and see whether now we have 19 volts steady. So they must have a problem with this this end. Seems a little bit strange. I mean, you wouldn't think there was much in here that can go wrong, would you, really? But there we go. 9 volts, 19 volts. Definitely intermittent. Will it start? No. I'm not sure I can do a lot with that, really. I mean, what I could do, I guess, is to take this off and fit if I have a socket of the right type for this laptop, rather than a universal type adapter. I can't think of anything else I can really do to solve the problem. Back on. It seems remarkable that effectively not making the contact. But yep, we definitely have a problem with that. Okay, I now have a better connection on the end. Let's just try it again. So I'm just going to flex the cable slightly here. Yeah, can you see that? So it looks more likely the problem is actually here rather than into that piece. Just a little gentle touch. Okay, let's, because we've got nothing better to do with it, let's take this end off here. And then let's see if we can actually find a connector that will fit onto the laptop. Okay, I had a look at my stash of bits of bobs, new ones, salvaged ones, and I found this one which fits quite nicely. I always try to keep a lot of these in stock. So let's just make sure we have a good connection here. We'll go to the ground connection, and we'll go on to the motherboard. And yes, we have a good connection, and then we'll do the same with the positive connection. Yes, we have a good connection. So we can use this one. What I'll do is I'll solder this onto the cable from this power supply. I'll cut this off about here somewhere, because obviously somewhere around this end is a break in the cable. It's probably where it goes into the strain relief. I can probably get it into here. I might have to modify this slightly, but let's see what we can do. So let's first of all take the end off our cable. Okay, so I mean, we can always put it back on again, but I'm expecting we won't need to do that, so I've just cut that off there. We can just strip the wire back a little bit, and I'll power it up and make sure that the red and black are actually the correct way you would expect. Red to positive, because you never can trust these things. If you don't double check, one day it will come back and bite you on the bum. I can be sure of that, because I've been bitten myself. Yeah, once bitten, twice shy. Yeah. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, as the saying goes. So we can just clean that off, and we'll power this power supply back up again, and let's have a look to see if we actually have the polarity that we expect. Hold this in, one touch. Okay, so we're on the volts range. We'd expect the black to be the negative and the red to be the positive, and we're just going to be sure that is actually, yes, that is what we have. So let's solder our new connector onto this. Let's check if we're in luck with the strain relief. Is it wide enough to fit? Otherwise, sometimes you have to cut them shorter further back here. But I think this might just go. Oh yeah, that's a good fit actually. Oh, that's lucky. That's just the right size. So that's our strain relief cover on. So this is going to look good once we finish the job. And I mean, these are very expensive. I can actually do this cheaper than it will cost them to buy another universal power supply, to be quite honest, and still make a profit. And still make more profit than I would do if I sold them a new power supply, yeah? That's the thing. Right, let's solder this on. This is where one of these things comes in extremely useful, a third hand as it's called. Definitely what you want for these sort of jobs. They're quite cheap to buy. So let's get some solder and let's put this on here. I find it easiest to cut the ground lid a little bit shorter and solder it on first, and then we'll do the other one, and we'll also put a bit of heat shrink sleeving on as well. So we'll just take that off there. So now we can yeah, we can solder that nicely on there, and that will go nicely on there. So let's get this one out of the way. Very simple soldering job. A little bit of leaded solder. Probably doesn't need any flux on this because it's new, but it wouldn't do any harm. No, that's fine. Doesn't need any additional flux on this one. We can also add a little bit to our wire. Just straighten this up a little bit. Fine. I'm now hitting the the thing together. Yeah. Okay. That's it. So we can put our wire on here. Okay. And then the important thing, we need to put a little bit of heat shrink sleeve on the other conductor. If you don't do this, you can guarantee it will short at some point. Believe Uncle Richard, yeah. Uncle Richard. Okay, yeah. Believe Uncle Dickie, yeah. It will short if you don't do this. So a little bit of solder on the end of the thing. A little bit of solder on the end of the wire. Okay. And now we try to solder it quite quickly before enough heat gets back into the wire to make the heat shrink effectively, yeah, to make the heat shrink, which is what we don't want to happen just yet. So let's see if we can get this to tag on from underneath. Okay, hopefully it's got it. Yeah, that's well attached. Now we can shrink our heat shrink, so we'll pop it over the end of there, and a little bit of hot air just to finish the job. Simples. There we go. Let's just check that this is okay. We can switch it on. The blue light's on the power supply, I can see, and we can just check to make sure we have yep, 19 volts on there. So let's put the cover back on. Let's connect our laptop back up, and let's see if it now works. There we go. Looks professional. I hope you agree. Let's see if the laptop will now power up. Power is on. Just get the little switch. Here we are. Power. Turn on. Yeah, the lights come on the indicator, and I'm guessing the fan will start moving. I have on the screen, it is actually working. It's just saying Medion, yeah. So that's now working. It looks like it was just literally a bad connection there. It's actually booting up. I've removed that. I thought I'd removed the hard drive from this. It must have an SSD, yeah. So it actually has an SSD on as well as the hard drive I removed. So it's quite a nice little laptop actually. Screen wants a clean. So I'll let this boot up. I'll shut it down. We'll put it back together, and then we should have it working. That's it, guys. It's back together. I can waggle the cable now. It doesn't go off. So it's obviously fixed the problem. Just waiting for the customer to come and collect it, and that's it. Repair is a little bit cheaper than replacing the power supply with a new one. Plus, I would make more money from doing this job than if I actually sold them a new one. So it's kind of like good for me, good for the client, and I hope it was good for you guys. Okay, nice and simple one, and I'm sure we'll have some more complicated things to come. But for now, I'll just say I'll see you all soon on another Learn Electronics Repair video. Ciao for now, guys.